Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Brook Monaghan. And Coach, let's start off with the good news over the weekend. Played your biggest in-conference rival because you guys go back a long way to Conference USA. And more times than not, you and UCF kind of take turns trading off championships, whether it's regular season or tournament titles. And so it's been a heated rivalry in the past. And it's still probably, even though USF's come on the last couple of years, UCF, you guys go way back, and you're able to get a nice, hard-fought 1-0 win over the Knights.
Yeah, I mean, listen, UCF is always one of the better teams in our conference year in and year out, and it's there's never an easy game with those guys. I don't recall, as long as we've been playing since Conference USA that you walked away and said, "Oh, we got the," that wasn't bad. I mean, it's always a battle, and they're very talented and very well coached, and I was proud of our girls. I mean, we had a game plan, and coming off the loss of against Ole Miss, and winning makes it brings out the joy, and losing kind of makes everybody miserable. So it was kind of a miserable week, right? I mean, when you don't lose much, and you're thrown off of your rhythm, it's you don't know what 100%, what's gonna show up the next match. And I thought from the first whistle, I mean, we brought the energy and intensity that was needed, and the girls really stuck to their game plan. I thought we played with a lot of discipline, because the way we went into this game against Central Florida, it took a lot of discipline, and so I was really, really, really proud of the performance.
You talked last week, because we talked the day or 2 days after the Ole Miss loss, that you were just, you don't want to lose any game, but you said the team had taken it the right way. They had to really refocus, and training had gone very well last week. So you had to be pretty confident coming into that UCF game that the team really kind of internally, without you having to force it, really refocused.
Yeah, I think that I can't tell you the outcome of what the UCF game would have been without playing Ole Miss, but there's no doubt that Ole Miss game, win, lose, or draw, prepared us for the UCF game, so, that's, like you said, that's what I said last week. And so I think that, everything, it all worked out. It all worked out. So, we were able to work on some things that Ole Miss exploited us with, and just to, fix a few things. And I think the girls brought it to the field, and, there's never a perfect game, but like I said, overall, very pleased with the performance.
Two really good keepers in that match between the Knights and the Tigers. So really not a surprise it ends up being just a 1-0 game. And Grace Storty, what a great strike just outside the 18 to kind of thread it past that post. Really got a lot of leg into it.
Yeah, no, she was good. I mean, I've said it before, we've got two freshmen outside backs, starting, our first 4 games, and they're not playing like freshmen. And Storty was in the right position, struck the ball cleanly. It was a very good goal. So, we've kind of taken pride in this team over the last several years, that it's we don't always have just one person that scores all the goals, and I think that's the sign of a good team, when you can have goals coming from all over.
You look at after the game, you get a couple of honors, a freshman of the weekend and a player on the honor roll.
Yeah, both well deserved. I mean, Moberg didn't have to come up with any, I don't want to take anything away from her, but any like big time saves, maybe like Central Florida did. I mean, Central Florida keeper made a couple really big time saves, but it's just solid. It's solid game, so she deserved what the recognition. And then obviously Storty being a defender, and us limiting a team like Central Florida to as few shots, and kind of shutting them down to an extent, right? And then scoring the goal. There's no surprise that she received that reward or award this week.
Nationally, kind of a wash last week, and that's good because you get the loss, but you come back and get the win. You were 18th, now you're 19th, so no big deal. You guys have built a reputation within the rankings, so teams, voters know if you lose a match, it's probably to a quality team like Ole Miss. You came back, you beat a quality team like UCF that propels you into first. So you jumped through it all right last week.
Yeah, listen, we're in a good place. I mean, and the rankings, don't don't get me wrong, rankings are there for a reason. It's still early, and you don't get caught up in it. But what a ranking does is it usually can guarantee that you're going to get your next opponent's or each opponent's best game, right? So, and that's what we're expecting going into this game with Houston. Houston's, I always say this: there's no easy games in this conference, and Houston has some very dangerous players, and at the end of the day, we've got to bring each game. It's about getting a little bit better from each game, taking something from each game and applying it to the next. And if we can match some of the things we did against Central Florida and improve a little bit on in a week's practice on a couple things, then it'll give us a good chance.
You take a look at Houston, and it's a team that's 0-1 in the league, so they're sitting in ninth place looking for their first results and their first points. But that would kind of lead you to believe they've probably seen some postponements early in the league season because they're 2-1-1 overall. They've got some matches in. So overall, it's a quality team. They just haven't had the opportunities in the league. What do you see out of the Cougars this year?
Yeah, no, they're very athletic up top, and they try to play a bit, and what I mean by that is they're just they'll play possession at the right time, and they'll go direct to the athleticism they have up front at the right time. So it's going to be a definitely tough match. And I mean, they had a couple, it's pretty normal now. They've had some COVID issues, so they lost, they had to postpone their last couple of matches. So, that works both ways, right? Some people can say, oh, they're going to be a little bit rusty, but, I look at it as they're probably going to be hungry, because, every time our kids get a game postponed or whatever, I mean, I know how much they're dying to play. So, I mean, we're probably going to get a very energized group in Houston come Sunday.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, man.
That's Brook Monaghan. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.